Welcome back, everybody. This is Political Hot Seat Thursday night. I do have Sheriff candidate Rick Marshall here with me, and it's a live call-in show, 727-8750. I would really like for you people to call in and ask Marshall any of those questions, because through the rest of the week, if you come up to me and say, why didn't you ask him this or that, and I'll say, why didn't you call in? That's why it's a live call-in show. And anyway, I know you all call in. If I ask a third trivia question, I probably, you guys all call in for that. But anyway, I'm back here with Mr. Marshall, and I hope everybody had a safe 4th of July too, and everything went well, and you enjoyed the 4th of July. And after last week's trivia questions, I think maybe you guys should study a little bit about why the 4th of July is here. But anyway, Mr. Marshall, we had the 4th of July. We had a motorcycle rally before that. The motorcycle rally really didn't turn out to be what they were expecting.
No, and the Sheriff's Office had received lots of information that there were going to be anywhere from 750 to 2,500 motorcycle enthusiasts coming into town. And we had received information that it was all mixtures from what's commonly referred to as outlaw motorcycle gangs to just your weekend enthusiasts. I think what happened is it was very, very hot. It was very muggy. You had in Las Vegas the Electric Daisy Carnival going, and I think a lot of people went there. A lot of people said, I'm going to sit this one out. We'll see how it goes, because of all the rumors that were floating around. We had the Sheriff's Office. We were prepared for it. We had our action plan. We met with the motorcycle enthusiasts as they came into town. We explained our purpose of the Sheriff's Office. We wanted everybody to have a good time, have a fun time, and it went off without a hitch. We had a little glitch here and there, but for the most part, very quiet. We didn't spend as much overtime as was allotted. I think we only had 129 hours of overtime over the 3-day period. I know myself, Sheriff DeMayo, at one point Sheriff DeMayo was on a 24-hour shift. I was routinely putting in 18 hours during those 3 days myself, but it turned out that it was good. Again, it wasn't what we had hoped for in terms of an economic revenue generator for the town, but people had a lot of fun, people had a good time, and we'll see what happens next year with it.
Yeah, I was going to say, as people talk about it and that, it might build up over a period of time. I mean, this was the first. And I did get a shirt that said the first Spring Mountain Run for Nevada. So,
yes.
But anyway, it is the first. I know, like up there in whereas in South Dakota, of course, they don't have the extreme weather we do. Surges. That place, I don't know, they get, a couple 100,000 or something.
Yes.
And they can bring in a lot of money. You just have to keep the trouble down, and I would say most people who ride those motorcycles are probably really good, decent people, and you got to feel that may cause trouble, but.
I've ridden for, I've ridden for 40 years it goes back to when I was a kid. We used to have these little mini bikes called Taco 22s and Taco 44s, and we used to ride those, so if you take it back to when I was a kid riding, I've ridden for probably 50 years. I've ridden everything from Gold Wings all the way down to the little mini bikes, and it's like you said, I think the majority of them are just motorcycle enthusiasts that want to polish up the motorcycle and go out for a ride and have a good time. And there was a lot of nice looking motorcycles there, a lot of nice looking motorcycles.
Well, it is fun to ride one when the weather turns nice and that. I'm from the northern Midwest, and I know once you think it might quit snowing,
yes,
you jump on one and you go out for a ride. But the most dangerous thing about riding one is people not paying attention.
Not paying attention.
They look at you and then they just go ahead and turn or pull out in front of you. I mean,
and I'm guilty of that as well. I was in Las Vegas a couple of years ago, and I looked to my left, checked my mirror, I didn't see anybody, and as soon as I pull over, I start hearing this horn, and I look back, and I felt bad because I've ridden motorcycles, like I said, for 50 years, dating back to the little mini bikes. And, you know, it could have been real tragic. He was very aware of his surroundings and he swerved out of the way. But if I had pulled over sharply, there's a good chance that I could have hit him.
Yeah, well, that's how come you got a defensive driving when you're riding a motorcycle. You always got to watch, because people in cars, a lot of times, they just look beyond the motorcycle. You know, it's like they're not looking for it. It's not there. But anyway, back to our sheriff's race. We got rid of, what, 8 people, and now we're down to 2, and November, what, is that 2nd or something like that?
November 4th.
4th is the election day.
And it's very, very humbling to have people by way of their vote, because voting's very, very precious. It's one of the few times that you get to step up and say, this is the person I want. And as a candidate, it's very, very humbling when somebody puts their trust and their faith in you and tells you, I believe what you're saying, I believe in the platform that you have, and I think you're the person for the job. I want you to be our elected representative. And that's what we are. When you get elected to an office, you're a representative of the people. And we should never, ever forget that we are public servants. We serve the public. We represent the people. And so many times elected officials all over the country, all over the nation, all over the world forget when they get elected, they are representative of the people. They are public servants. We're there to serve the public.
Right, and once you become sheriff, then you're actually a politician. I mean, you know, now you're a politician, not just a deputy, you're a politician. And that makes it probably a little harder, because anything, like any group of people, if somebody does something that isn't quite right or doesn't look right, and that it always reflects back to you.
Absolutely.
I mean, you know,
and that's where accountability and transparency to the public comes in. One of the platforms that I've had is transparency. You know, the sheriff's office will have the public involved in its business. One of the greatest assets of any community is the citizens that live there. And we want to tap into those assets at the sheriff's office. We want the people in our business, and we're going to strengthen those ties with the community. We're going to open it up, and if somebody wants to come and volunteer at the sheriff's office, we'll find a spot for them.
All right, well, we do have a caller on the line. Go ahead, Amy.
Hi, I heard Sheriff DeMaio talk about an incident where he had to approach BLM and let them know they don't have the right paperwork, and that they would have to leave because they don't have jurisdiction. And with the Bundy thing being such a big issue, I would like to ask Rick, since he was involved with that, what if the BLM would now come to Nye County? They were in Clark County where the sheriff did nothing. But what would Rick do as sheriff? I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but I would like to hear it from Rick, what his stance would be with the BLM if they came to move a landowner off of land and to do what they did to Bundy.
Do we have time to answer this before the break?
Go ahead.
Thank you for the question, Amy. The difference between Clark County and Nye County is that BLM knows that should they come to, or any federal agency, I don't want to necessarily single out the Bureau of Land Management, but they know if they come to Nye County, we're not going to sit back as the sheriff's office and do nothing. We've made it clear to all federal agencies that the sheriff is the chief law enforcement officer of the county, and that there will be no illegal seizures of anybody's property, whether it's cattle, homes, guns, anything, without absolute full due process of law. It's simply not going to happen. And if they attempt to do it, we'll do what we did before, and that's we'll put a stop to it. We'll back them down. And if need be, we'll take people that are violating the law or violating the Constitution into custody. Nobody has the right to step in, whether it's local, state, or federal, and violate somebody's rights. It's simply not going to happen. We're not going to allow it. And as your sheriff, I will make that definitive decision. I'm not going to sit back and say, I need to research this. I need this plan. I know what needs to be done. We've done it before, and we'll do it again.
Well, very good. I think now we're ready to go to a break, and we will be right back with Mr. Marshall after this advertisement.